Well, I wasn't planning on doing another winterizing video on the Flex, but I happened to catch an important point from the Winnebago video where it talks about storing the battery above freezing. And ironically, as you can see by the snow on the tank cover, that, well, we get below freezing in the Midwest. And it's ironic that a company that is in northern Indiana, that I know, in the Midwest, it's not uncommon to have sub-zero temperatures for days, that they wouldn't take that into consideration before kind of really designing this build out. So once again, I'm kind of annoyed with Winnebago, because now I got to unload the storage compartment, remove the basically the shroud around the battery and the inverter, and go through winterizing that sucker and pulling that battery out. So the battery's going to have to come out. Now, if you're on shore power, I think it actually is good to -4, because the internal battery heaters will keep it good. But like I said, I mean, I've seen -14 before for a couple days, 3 days, and it will damage the battery. So that 68-pound battery is going to have to be pulled out, and I'm going to go through that here, and let's get to the fun. All right, so everything is emptied out of the storage bay. The shroud is removed. According to Xantrex, the way to do this is to obviously turn off any heavy amperage loads. My lips are a little cold. So it's disconnected from shore power. The inverter's turned off, and as best as I can tell, they say disconnect it from the inverter and the way it's wired. So I flipped the breaker here, which isolates basically the positive, which does feed into, so let me see if I can get back in here. But as you can see, I mean, it's hardwired, so, but that is the configuration. So best I can tell is basically just kill that breaker switch, and then turn the battery off, which I've already done. And then you've got your disconnect there. That is actually your connection for the remote power button. And then it's just a matter of just unhooking the negative and the positives. And then you've got a brace back here, as you can see, removing that one, and the battery should just come out. And again, kind of irritates the hell out of me that, oh, let me get out of here, that Winnebago has not made this a little more simple. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, that, I mean, I know they're trying to protect a very expensive battery from getting stolen, but at the same time, they should damn well know, being in northern Indiana, that these batteries cannot be stored in sub-freezing temperatures, and they should make this a little bit more easy to basically pull from the unit every winter. So, but well, let's get to it. Hope we don't jack anything up. All right, there's our big ass moved out of the way. You got to keep in mind this is a 68-pound battery. So she is not easy to move. And I will point out on this connector, because it faces backwards, I don't know how well it's going to focus, but there's a little catch back here that you have to, so it's easier actually to kind of pull the battery out a little bit, and then just, you can get like a screwdriver or whatever, and just kind of slip the bottom of that up to release the hook at the end, and it just pops right up easily right out of the top of the battery. But it hooks on right there, so it's just a matter of just, again, flipping it up, and then it just pops right up. So anyways, that was fun. So Lithionics does recommend, though, so charging it up to 100%. You can put it on a trickle charger, which you can get from them. I think they're around 150 bucks to float charge it through the winter. What they recommend is after the, whatever, 3 to 6 months of storage, bring it back up to 100%, discharge it to 50%, and then bring it back up to 100%, and it should be good for the next season. But do keep in mind, this is a heavy battery. So it may be something to where, depending on who you are, you may want to have the dealership help you unload this, just to make it easier. So, I mean, I work out 5 days a week, and it's still a pain in the ass, just kind of digging it out, just because it's back in here. But she's ready to get pulled, put inside, kept warm for the winter. And with that, oh, so the Go Power The solar, what they recommend for winterizing off of their website is, and it's really kind of odd, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but it's actually talking about removing the solar panels, disconnecting the solar panels, all those things. But apparently the solar controller, and I'm thinking the Xantrex, those are good to stay out here in the winter. What I might do is just pull the fuse on the Go Power and just shut it down that way. But right now, I mean, at least this is it for the battery until we have to mess with the sucker. And keep in mind that if you do this at your house and you have to take it someplace to store, you do not have battery power at this point. So you're going to have to manually do the jack, or just get, you know, like an impact hammer or something like that, and use it to raise and lower the front jack on the trailer. So, alrighty, we'll see what happens next.
Well, son of a bitch, no battery, no lift, so have to go manual, and an impact hammer is not the way to go. Guess I'll be ordering a new override nut for the Lippert power jack. Peachy. I hate Winnebago right now, even though this one's more on me.
All right, well, the battery's been pulled, a new overdrive nut has been ordered for the lift that I broke like an idiot with an impact hammer. So it's best just to use the hand crank that they give you, or a socket, but 3/4 inch, just in case you're curious. And it is a 1/2 inch socket or wrench that's required for the battery terminals. But you know, initially in our kind of season wrap up, I had given Winnebago kind of an A- grade, but I'm kind of ready to downgrade it to a C, just because it seems like Winnebago just did a absolutely horrible job really planning for the usage of these trailers, because it seems like they designed it, and the Flex package itself is brilliant. We absolutely love it, but it's like they designed it in a lot of ways without actually testing it, just thinking that it's going to be like in conditions like 50 to 80 degrees all year round, with all the issues they've had with the batteries frying, or not like literally frying, but you know, overheating in the Southwest, because they didn't take into consideration the cooling that it was going to need. And then, you know, the fact that that sucker is so buried in the damn unit that they didn't bother to think about the fact that you know, most of the country gets below freezing, you know, in the wintertime, and that these batteries, if you're not connected to power, and even then it's only good to like -4, that the batteries need to be pulled out. So in a lot of ways, it was like the R&D just in so many ways just, I mean, really sucks. I mean, we're still happy with the Flex package, but just some really major annoyances in this aspect with the Flex. So should be the end of this season, so hopefully nothing else goes on. But I'll be getting that new overdrive nut, installing it, and then loading it up. And I will point out that in case anybody's not technical, they don't realize it, so even with the battery out, the 7-pin terminal on your truck will power the lights on the trailer, so you're still good on that aspect. So your lights and your brakes will work. But with that, here's to enjoying a good off season. Hope to see you out there next spring. Take care.